Welcome to the Eat Better, Move Better, Live Better podcast presented by Flourish with Tracy, where we'll dive into the realms of holistic wellness, plant-based nutrition, yoga, and self-care to help you live your best life. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern for our special segments. Meditation Monday. Start your week with mindfulness. Wellness Wednesdays. Get the midweek boost you need. Sadhana Saturdays. Dedicate weekends to personal growth. Join us as we explore and discuss all things to eat better, move better, and live better. Welcome. Today, we're going to begin the second half of our series as we transition from the Niyamas, our external or outward-facing practices, into the Niyamas, an inward-facing internal practice. The Niyamas asked us, how do I relate to the world? The Niyamas ask us, how do I relate to myself? So today we're going to begin the first part of a 5-part series to explore the Niyamas, and it will be Saucha. At first glance, Saucha is translated as purity, cleanliness, and purification, and we can understand those terms when we think of bathing or washing our hands, cleaning our home, or organizing our environments. However, from the Niyama perspective, looking at it from an internal view, it's more than just physical cleanliness. It's about creating purity within your body, your mind, your environment, your habits, and even your spiritual practices. It asks you to reflect, what am I allowing into my internal space? Because everything you intake or consume will affect you, and not just food. We consume thoughts and media, conversations, environment, energy, beliefs. So let's explore today how to cultivate purity and how to do that to support your spiritual growth and to create clarity. And allow yourself just to settle into an opportunity to explore, what does it mean to create a sacred space within yourself? So what is Saucha? It means to remove what obscures your natural clarity. Think of a window. When a window is covered in dusk, sunlight can't enter. It has a difficult pathway through to shine. The light of the sun hasn't disappeared. What is obstructing the light is the issue. So if you want to think of Saucha in this manner, the process of removing the obstructions to allow the light to come within. So beneath stress, beneath conditioning, beneath distractions and clutter or chaos is your essential nature. The practice of Saucha helps to remove the things that cloud to prevent the light to come within. And the goal is never perfection. The goal is simply clarity. Saucha is about uncovering what is already present. The distinction between purity versus perfection is important because Saucha is often misunderstood as perfectionism. And that's not the goal. Our goal is not to be flawless, because perfectionism creates anxiety and rigidity and judgment. And that can sometimes lead to suffering. Saucha is about caring for yourself consciously. What supports your well-being? What is clouding your awareness? What nourishes your clarity? What creates congestion? Saucha, or purity, means alignment, not perfection. So as we first began, we talked about physical clarity, caring for our body, and that is important. That's the first place where you practice Saucha, whether you realize it or not. Going through the process of daily hygiene, bathing, brushing your teeth, washing your hands, wearing clean clothing. Rather than rushing through these activities, things that you automatically do without thought, the practice of Saucha asks you to view these as acts of self-respect, self-care, even wearing clean clothing. It asks you to communicate that you value your body. The same for nutrition. Your food can affect more than your physical health. Food impacts your energy, your focus, your mood, inflammation within the body, and your mental clarity. When you think of Saucha or purity, it asks you, what am I feeding my body? Does this support clarity? And you ask from a perspective of awareness, not guilt or restriction. It's just simple questions. Before you eat, ask, does this food nourish me? How do I feel after I eat this food? Am I eating from hunger to fuel my body? Or am I eating from an emotional distress? Does this food choice support vitality? This portion of Saucha, or clarity, is considered conscious nourishment. Purity also includes movement. Your body will naturally eliminate waste through the digestion process, through circulation, through respiration, perspiration, and how the lymphatic fluids flow within your body. When you move, you support those natural processes, walking, stretching, mindful movement. Saucha reminds us that when we're stagnant, it will create discomfort. It will cloud your body. Movement creates circulation, space, and clarity. And then there's mental Saucha, clearing your mind. You understand cleaning your house. Do you understand how to clean your mind? To remove worry, fear, comparisons, too much stimulation or information. They crowd and distract the mind. When you practice mental purity or Saucha, you ask, what am I repeatedly allowing into my awareness? Let go of consuming so much information. Take a break from so much advertising, news, entertainment, notification. All of this affects your mental space. Create a specific space and time for it, and then let it go. Practicing Saucha asks, is this information nourishing or draining? Because not all information is beneficial. Some information simply creates distraction, chaos, or agitation. Your mind will develop habits just as your body does. So when you repeat patterns that clear your mind, that clear you internally, it becomes familiar to you, the same way we talked about the physical movement and clearing of the body. So clearing thoughts that criticize you, that compare or judge or are negative, let it go. Mental purity or mental clarity or mental Saucha involves becoming aware of the patterns, not suppressing them, observing. Awareness begins the transformation process. Meditation is one of the most powerful Saucha practices. It doesn't remove the thoughts. Instead, it just creates the space of awareness and mental activity. You can let it go and observe it externally. And allowing the space to be clear. And when you do this, now you can move through emotional clutter and clear that as well. Emotions are not impure, such as anger or grief, fear, happiness. It's not feeling emotions. The clutter happens when we don't acknowledge the emotions. If we suppress them, deny them, then they become trapped. And that begins the emotional congestion and the clutter. You have to process your emotions so that you can release any accumulation of resentment, bitterness, or unresolved grief, because these things can store internally within your muscles, within your body, and make you dis-ease. The practice of Saucha allows you to process rather than to store the emotions, to be aware. And you can process emotions through journaling, therapy, breath work, your devotional spiritual practices, conversations with a trusted friend, or being creative. It's not to eliminate the emotion, it's to allow the movement and once again create this space to be aware. As mentioned previously, emotions are energy in motion. And when emotions are allowed to move, they can transform naturally. You can process them. And then the other piece of Saucha or clarity is creating sacred spaces, your environment. Our surroundings influence our inner state. If you ever entered a room that was just cluttered and packed, have you ever felt overwhelmed by it? Versus entering an open, clear space, feeling peace and able to immediately relax. Your environment matters. Saucha asks you to consider all the spaces that you occupy. Your home, your workspace, your vehicle, your digital environments. All of these things will hold energy. The more you clear the space, it becomes care of your energetic self. Declutter and let go. Let go of physical things within your space you don't need, and let go of internal things that we hold on to: guilt, fear, habit. Decluttering is not about being a minimalist, and there's nothing wrong with minimalism. Decluttering is about creating space and room for what truly matters. Letting go external things creates internal spaciousness. And then for our modern times, digital Saucha. Clear digital clutter. Overflowing inboxes, excessive screen time, constant notifications and interruptions. decluttering digital clutter will affect your nervous system health. Create digital boundaries. That can become, in and of itself, a very powerful Saucha practice. And then we look at our relationships. People. They influence our mental and emotional cleanliness. Saucha asks you to reflect. What conversations am I participating in? What energy am I surrounding myself with? Are my relationships supportive of my growth? And this does not mean that we avoid people who are struggling. It doesn't avoid people that we struggle with. It means recognizing how the environments influence your overall well-being and then working in a sacred reciprocity to clear the space, to have healthy conversations. And this includes removing gossip, judgment, negativity, emotional heaviness. Saucha invites us to have conscious, authentic understanding, speech. Words influence both the speaker and the listener, and to create healthy boundaries to protect the mental and emotional clarity. Boundaries are not walls, they're filters, and they help determine what we allow into our life and to identify what does not belong. And then there's a spiritual purity or Saucha, creating space for connection, a simple practice for your personal devotional and spiritual growth. It's not about adding more practices, it's more about removing the distractions. Sometimes spiritual clutter can show up as rigid beliefs, attaching your ego to your spiritual belief, comparing your spiritual beliefs to someone else's, and how you perform externally practicing your spirituality. Saucha asks honest reflection. Is there anything in my spiritual practice that is preventing me from experiencing presence? And if there is, then there is an opportunity for you to, just as with your physical space, just as with your food and movement and relationships, to clear with awareness. So I'd like to now invite you to a gentle practice to reflect even further. Take a slow breath in and out. You can close your eyes if you wish, or soften your gaze. Take a second breath in and allow your awareness to move deeper within yourself. Exhale. Take a third breath in, allowing the awareness to move all throughout your body. Exhale. Gently ask yourself, where in my life do I feel cluttered? Is it physical? Mental? Or is it emotional, relational? Is it digital or spiritual? In any of these areas, what feels heavy? What feels stagnant? What no longer serves my well-being. Breathe. Now remember the example of the window we mentioned earlier. Imagine you can see the dust on the window and the sun trying to get through. Imagine you clearing and washing and wiping all of the dust from the window. Now open the window. Feel the fresh air entering the space. Feel the light. Feel the expansion of this spaciousness. Now imagine releasing one thing that feels heavy or stagnant. Allow it to float right out of that window. One thing that creates an unnecessary congestion. You don't have to release everything at this moment, just one thing. Notice how it feels. Rest quietly within this spaciousness. Take a deep breath in and out, relaxing your shoulders, blinking and opening your eyes, taking a second deep breath in and out, smiling with gratitude that you just created space with awareness. Take a third and final breath in and out. Practicing Saucha doesn't have to be complex. It could be as simple as imagining you opening the window and letting out one thing. It can also be just as simple as beginning your day with a glass of water, spending 5 minutes to just declutter one small space in your area, limiting your media consumption, taking a moment to journal how you feel if you experience something emotionally, taking a deep breath in and out or practicing a meditation, creating a calming evening routine, honoring healthy boundaries and speaking consciously with awareness, scheduling time just to be silent or choosing nourishing foods. Small acts, when you practice them consistently, creates the pathway for your transformation, creates your Saucha. Saucha teaches us that purification is not about becoming perfect. It's about removing whatever obscures our internal personal clarity. So continue to clean your home and your environments, but also remember to clean your internal body, your mind, and your heart, because they deserve your care just as much as your physical space deserves care. The practice of Saucha helps us create space for our peace, our healing, our spiritual connection, and our awareness. The more you decrease clutter, the more clarity will increase. And as your clarity increases, your wisdom becomes easier to hear. Create space for clarity, releasing what no longer serves your well-being. May your mind be clear, may your heart be open, and may your environment support your internal peace. Thank you for spending time in space today. Thanks for tuning in. I hope today's insights help you on a personal journey towards a healthier, happier life. Don't forget to join every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern for more self-care and holistic wellness tips. Before you go, make sure to comment, click the bell, like, and subscribe buttons for upcoming episode notifications. Be sure to always consult a medical professional before making any major changes regarding your health, diet, or routine. In the meanwhile, stay motivated, stay inspired, and remember, every step you take is one step closer to a better you. Until next time, keep flourishing, and as always, may all be well.